Hello IFT 381. My name is Jose Zavala, and I am a part of Team Solo 17. Today I will be presenting on the ZuoRAT malware that has been affecting small office home office routers worldwide. But first, let's start from the beginning. The global COVID-19 pandemic increased remote work, leading to more small office/home office, aka SOHO, routers worldwide. Recently, researchers discovered ZuoRAT, a malware that was taking advantage of this increase by specifically targeting SOHO routers. This presentation will analyze how ZuoRAT works related to IFT 381 course material, discuss mitigation strategies, and end the presentation with some questions for you to leave with. Understanding how ZuoRAT infiltrates the network is crucial for setting up effective security controls. Researchers found that threat actors were targeting routers from brands like Asus, Cisco, Dratec, and Netgear that were missing key security patches. That's how the attack began, by identifying vulnerable routers, aka determining an entry point. Next, the infection continues with the social engineering tactic of getting a user to unknowingly execute a portable Python Windows executable. Finally, once this executable is ran, the script begins its work. The Python executable performs command line injection. The command line injection obtains authentication material and bypasses authentication. Once it has done that, it executes the telnet command to download ZuoRAT's agent. The router is now officially compromised. Now that the ZuoRAT agent is loaded onto a SOHO router, it becomes part of the command and control infrastructure. This is also referred to as the C2 infrastructure. The core functionality of the ZuoRAT agent has a few default tasks that it does on every infected router, whether told to or not by the C2. It gathers information about the router and its local network, aka the LAN. It enables network traffic packet capture, and it conducts that packet capture and then sends all gathered data back to the C2. How does it do this? Well, the ZuoRAT agent connects to the C2 through port 48101 and then captures data for ports 20, 21, 80, 8080, 443, and 8443. It is believed that this reconnaissance helps the threat actor determine the value of maintaining ZuoRAT on the router. The second component of ZuoRAT includes various embedded functions for the threat actor to run on the infected router. The embedded exportable functions include commands for further LAN enumeration, DNS hijacking, and HTTP hijacking. In total, researchers identified around 2,500 embedded functions available to the threat agent. To be more precise on some of ZuoRAT's abilities, it can collect DNS information, internal IP addresses, and MAC addresses from the ARP table and send it to the C2. A feature that should be known about the ZuoRAT agent is its ability to delete all locally stored data and evidence of its existence upon the router's restart. ZuoRAT is part of a complex campaign, not just gathering information from a single network. What ZuoRAT is doing is that it is having infected routers contact a proxy server, which acts as an intermediary for the C2. These proxy servers, created from infected routers, form a botnet. This botnet is believed to be used by a threat agent that is using the botnet for unknown reasons. This sophisticated campaign affects many SOHO routers, making it essential for remote workers to be aware of this threat. This raises the question of how ZuoRAT can relate to the IFT 381 Information System Security course. Well, IFT 381 Information System Security covers various topics, including threats to business organizations, malware types, and network security risks. Now, the course had discussed during one of the weeks of lectures on how malware can threaten businesses through various ways. This can happen by attacking confidentiality and privacy, data integrity, availability of services, productivity, and reputation. We can see how ZuoRAT exemplifies this concept by gathering and exfiltrating data from its residing network, attacking data integrity, and compromising privacy by accessing sensitive data. ZuoRAT fits this mold of malware that threatens businesses that we learned from the class. The course also explores different malware types so that we can be familiar in how attacks present themselves. Threats exist as viruses, worms, Trojan horses, logic bombs, botnets, and spyware. ZuoRAT relates to the course content in that it is a Trojan and a botnet creator. As a Trojan, ZuoRAT is an executable run by a user that creates an agent on a router and adds it to the AC2 botnet used by unknown threat actors. Malware like ZuoRAT is exactly what we need to look out for as students and IT professionals. IFT 381 emphasizes the importance of network infrastructure defense. Organizations should be creating network choke points, using content filtering services, disabling unnecessary network services, maintaining up-to-date intrusion detection systems, signature bases, and applying security patches. Although ZuoRAT is not an example of network defense, it does highlight what can happen when these controls are not implemented. Look at it this way. A user ran a malicious executable on an unpatched SOHO router, and the lack of detection methods allowed data exfiltration on unsecured ports. This case emphasizes the need for robust network security measures. So, how do you protect yourself from ZuoRAT? The ZuoRAT campaign is still ongoing, with many similar campaigns targeting SOHO routers used by remote workers and small businesses. Although most remote workers use VPNs to connect securely to corporate networks, ZuoRAT residing on the LAN-to-WAN domain can still bypass or exploit VPNs, making them potential attack vectors. To mitigate the risk of ZuoRAT and similar malware, you should regularly reboot SOHO routers to remove ZuoRAT, as it cannot persist past a reboot. You should apply patches and updates to router firmware to fix any vulnerabilities that may be there. Finally, for corporate networks, you should implement a zero trust architecture requiring corporate laptops with security controls to prevent social engineering attacks affecting home and corporate networks. SOHO routers are integral to homes and small businesses, and their prevalence is expected to increase with the rise of remote work. The key points of ZuoRAT is that it infiltrates routers via an executable, installs an agent, and conducts LAN enumeration to capture and exfiltrate data. This setup facilitates the creation of botnets by threat actors. ZuoRAT is not the only malware out there that can do this. The case of ZuoRAT illustrates how malware can severely impact businesses, acting as both a Trojan and a botnet. Lack of adequate network security defenses exposes vulnerabilities. This case emphasizes the need for regular firmware updates to mitigate such threats. As understanding of threats like ZuoRAT grows, so do questions about if there are detection methods beyond just enterprise-grade solutions. with increasing attacks of SOHO routers by threat actors, there arises concern over the security implications of remote work. There are some questions that everyone in IT must ask for the future. One of the main questions to ask is that if weak home network security renders remote work as a risky endeavor for corporations in the future. As cybersecurity evolves, it's crucial to anticipate and adapt to emerging threats. That has been my presentation on ZuoRAT. Thank you very much for those who watched this video. If you have any further questions, would like more information, or would like to just have a discussion, please feel free to reach out. I will include all references in the following slide. Thank you very much.